Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Intel Extreme Masters Sydney. Our second match of the day is done. For SK Gaming, they stand tall, and it wasn't so peachy for Vici. Definitely not a close one either, guys. We talked about that on paper. Even at the start, we didn't expect to really see that much of a Titanic battle. Keep a straight face and keep going, gents. But let's talk about how things started off there. SK took a while to get rolling.
Yeah, you know, they obviously didn't get the pistol round, and then Orman, with some aggression in the drop, I think he took that the majority of the T rounds. You know, he was a bit of a menace for them and was able to get up to 5 rounds for Vici. But it looked like there was just a lot of disrespect coming in from SK. There was unbridled aggression from Fer, just continuously going for that mid-fight against guns, right? He's just flashing and picking and hoping to find a frag, and he was punished for that quite a lot. But the slack was picked up by the other guys on SK, and, you know, they got through pretty easily.
And let's look a little bit about maybe some highlight players, maybe even some, glimmers of hope from Vici as well. Because, we heard it said on the desk that, or on the caster desk at least, that Orman was a bit of a standout in some ways, as much as he could be anyway. What else we got from Vici?
That's about it.
I mean, he had a lot more kills than the rest of his teammates. You could see that in some of the rounds on the T side from Vici, the idea was right, like they wanted to go for that A split, perhaps. But the problem is when the execution needs to come in, that's when, things kind of come to a halt. And it's not anything major.
Aim's not a problem for
definitely not.
It's like anything major. It's like the small things like spacing. Spacing is very important when you go into an execute, because you don't want to allow your opponent to be able to get like a multi-kill, to get 2 or 3 kills to more players down. That's what you don't see when like 2 tier 1 teams play. There's always a trade coming in, and it always ends up, or most of the time, that ends up in an after-plan situation, and then a clutch needs to happen. Here, they only got the bomb down 3 times in the first half, won 2 of those rounds and lost 1 of them. It was mostly SK winning by elimination.
Have to mention the double AWP setup coming out with Taco being the secondary AWPer towards that B platform. I don't know, they've spoken about that before. Because he is the main platform player at B, he's just picking up the AWP instead of having Cold Zero do it. Because if you do that, I think with SK, you kind of ruin their system. So this is where they can stick to that. But one thing with these lower tier teams, or these teams who don't play against these opponents all the time, especially what we're going to see from Chiefs later, is you have to earn the respect of your opponent early. You need to throw out some stuff. You need to show them, hey, we can play the big brand of Counter-Strike, the big boys brand of Counter-Strike even. And then they respect you, and then they stop with the aggression. They start dialing it back, and they play correctly. It's very difficult when a team doesn't treat you with any respect, because they're going to constantly be re-picking, pushing through smokes, making your life an absolute hell. And that's a little bit what we saw from SK there.
Really quickly, we talked about some of the finer points that maybe Vici could work on, but how hard is it to pick those up as a team in a very small region, quite isolated from global Counter-Strike in general?
Well, you can watch the demos, but the biggest thing is understanding why. So you can obviously see what all these teams do, and you can look at how they're approaching situations. But the only way you can really understand why or how it happens is to play against it and actually experience it and learn how to react on the fly. Because all your preparation and stuff, when you get in this kind of environment and you're under pressure and you're up against these guys, it all goes away from your head. It needs to be second nature. So to prepare for it, it's very difficult, and you just have to go to more events. But the problem with Tyloo in the Chinese region is there's no consistency. So Vici, they've come to this one. Tyloo will probably go to the next one, and then someone else might even go to the next one. Same issue we're having in Australia at the moment.
Yeah, we'll get onto that as well coming to the next game. It'll be an interesting one. But that's it for our second match of the day. The Chiefs, of course, are coming up just around the corner if you're an Aussie fan. But for now, it's SK Gaming to go up 1-0, Vici 0-1. And after the break, as I mentioned, it is going to be that David versus Goliath battle. Astralis, the Great Danes, the best team in global Counter-Strike, will take on local heroes, the Chiefs, right here. Don't miss it.
Do you want to feel like a pro gamer? Wait no more. Greatness awaits you with Intel Extreme Masters certified PCs and notebooks. When you see unique IEM certified stickers on the outside, you will find high-grade components with Intel Core i5 and Core i7 processors inside. Every purchase includes in-game content and supports the total prize purse of Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Feel like a pro.
In the same place there, Simple just jumping, catches it, he's going to fall down again. there, simple, just jumping casually into the side. He's going to fall down again.
Go to snipe.tv now and never miss the action.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the ESL studios here in lovely Sydney, although the weather's not exactly kicking off as much today as it was earlier on, but still, it's been nice so far. Our third match is just around the corner, but before we jump into that as well, I'm going to reintroduce you to our experts and of course a new addition here at the desk. Of course we've got Yanko here as well, YNK, and right down the end we have Ian Sniper Turner, a very well-known player in the Australian scene, one that's been around for a heck of a long time. It's a pleasure to have you on the desk. Thank you for joining us, mate.
Absolute pleasure to be here in sunny Sydney. And as it brings out the rain just as we're stuck inside.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
good.
Ideal. We went to the beach yesterday, got that out of the way. It can rain as much as you like now while we're here. Now, Ian, as well, you're an active player in the Australian scene. You've been for a long time. You've been teammates with a lot of the top players that have come out of Australia as well. So, I mean, we won't go too deep into detail but as well, but we've got an interesting scene right now in Australia, it's safe to say.
Yeah, it's definitely safe to say that. I mean, you've got pretty much everything happening at the moment. You've got lineups changing left, right and centre. You've got a different team winning qualifiers to overseas events just about every time. The LAN scene's starting to get a little bit better maybe. Might be some more events here because of ESL. There was EB Expo and PAX and things like that. So it's really good. It's really starting to take off.
Well, it's good. I mean, we all sat for many years in the Australian scene and waited for it to actually do something, and now seems to be the case. But let's jump into this one here. Let's start talking about these two teams because there's maybe a little bit to discuss earlier on, especially about one of the teams. But first of all, Astralis coming in, still considered the best team in the world. Of course, a slight slip for them over in Kiev at the Star Ladder Finals, but they are still looking in form, Yanko, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. It's just that Astralis, they've never made it below top 4, I feel, with the new lineup. So they've been dominant from the very beginning, pretty much as a team, and it's very difficult to find a flaw with this team, some weakness that you can exploit. In order to beat Astralis, you basically just need to play at a high level throughout the game, because they are certainly, even if they may start a little bit slow, they're definitely going to come back into the game and force you to play your best.
We expect to see a similar throwing to what we saw with SK and Vici. Do you really think the Chiefs are going to have to go and earn that respect from Astralis, or otherwise we're going to see that aggressive play, that more puggy style?
Actually, Astralis is a team that doesn't really go all in that no respect play style, right? Astralis is a team that no matter the opponent, they're gonna kind of play their own game. Now Chiefs is a bit different than what they are used to facing, even when they face an underdog, so we might see it to an extent, but they're just a very disciplined squad across the board, so that might be like a way in for Chiefs, right?
And the Chiefs has been a household name in Australian esports for quite some time, of course. Yeah, Top Gun,
That's
no
a man.
longer under the Chiefs banner. He actually obviously filled in for the team at that particular event. We don't really see too much of Azad anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously a big character. But let's talk about the Chiefs lineup as they are now, Ian.
Yeah, so the Chiefs lineup just recently changing with the removal of Lightstep, their previous in-game leader, and bringing in Pex for a bit more firepower. They've got Tux on the in-game leadership, and he's handed over the AWP off to Alistair as well. So a lot of shuffling on inside the team, and I think they've come out stronger for it. They've played all the qualifiers recently, and they've had a lot of boot camp coming into this event, really trying to put their best foot forward for IEM Sydney. And I think hopefully we're going to see the culmination of that. But like Chad said earlier, they're going to have to earn the respect of Astralis. I mean, Astralis aren't the kind of team that are going to go balls deep on you in no respect, but the Chiefs guys still are going to have to earn that respect, because there's going to be one guy maybe from Astralis who will test the waters, and if he's successful, then the other guys will catch on.
And it's going to follow suit, I suppose, as well. I did speak to them as well, and I said, you guys seem quite confident. We did see, obviously, Tux in a little bit of a piece that he sort of produced inside the arena, saying that they felt quite confident going forward. Even got a chance to chat to them as well, at the hotel, and they said, yeah, we're here to win, kind of thing. So seems like a bit of faux confidence here.
Yeah,
have to be. I'm sure they have to be respecting what they're up against.
I mean, you can never go into a game or a tournament thinking, yeah, we're just going to get bombed out, we're not going to do anything. You always need to have a way in. As an underdog, you're always going to look for, okay, they're not going to, prepare for us. We have all these demos of Astralis, for example, in this matchup, and maybe we think like there is something that we can exploit there. Now, whether that will prove to be true, probably not, but you kind of try to find a silver lining for your team, and you kind of hold on to that as hope coming into the matchup.
Sure. I mean, let's have a look at the veto here as well. It is pretty much been underway as we've been talking over the top of it here. I mean, Astralis ban Cobblestone out to start with, probably no big surprises here as well. I mean, what is the Chiefs map pool like? To my understanding, Ian, I only feel that Inferno is probably one of their real strong maps, and that's only been as of recently.
They've got a fairly wide map pool. They don't have a very deep cache anymore with Lightstep going away. They used to play all the maps, but with Lightstep gone now, they're not playing cache at all, or cache. And you'll see, Inferno coming out. They've got, like Yago said, they've got all the demos for Astralis. So no matter what the map is, they're going to be prepared. They're going to know some of the nuances. It's just whether or not they can take advantage of it. And if Astralis play the exact same way they'd play against other T1 teams.
Inferno comes out of this veto process. Probably understandably a map that both these two teams are wanting to play here. But look, what do we expect to see from an Inferno from Astralis?
I think Astralis are just a very, very good team at adapting. So they don't need to look a single demo of Chiefs, but they will see in the game how they like to play. Astralis is capable of running a very fast style as well. On that T side, they're able to go execute heavy to just an explosive play style. They obviously realize the importance of banana control and how to try and secure that, and they go into a B execute. So for Chiefs, it kind of has to be, I think they need to definitely throw some aggression Astralis' way, because not a single team in the world is basically capable playing against Astralis with a laid-back playstyle. You let them do whatever they want, and you just kind of try to fight them when they go into an execute. They're not going to have a lot of fun if they are not aggressive.
Ian, are Chiefs the best Australian team in Australia right now?
I think on paper, across all the maps, you would say that they're probably the best team in Australia right now, for sure.
Okay.
The other teams, like Tainted Minds, they're just having struggles at the moment, recently changing a player themselves, and that was the in-game leader. So now they've changed their in-game leader across to Dexter, who's formerly of Winterfox, and then you've got Immunity, who have no longer got James, who was their previous in-game leader. So the shuffle is going around everywhere, whereas Chiefs have sort of taken their shuffle in their stride, the in-game leading moving over to Tux, and it's not been a problem for them. So they're definitely the best team in Australia at the moment.
Even though they didn't quite make the Asia Minor, though, I believe it was Immunity that qualified for that one over them.
Yep, yeah. Unfortunately, they had to play with a stand-in for that as well. So that's why Chiefs came second there. They had Imagine as their stand-in. But otherwise, yeah, you could say previous results coming into it and coming second is still not a bad effort. So I would definitely say they're the best. I think coming up against Astralis, obviously, like I said, they know exactly what Astralis is going to do. Astralis is going to be looking to try and adapt. I think Astralis is going to be, putting the book of CS to work.
Sure.
And then it's going to be up to Chiefs just to throw that book out the window and just try and catch them off guard if they can.
Okay, very quickly before we jump in as well, last event Astralis didn't win, of course. Let's rehash that. I know there's been a lot of discussion about Star Ladder, but what was it that stopped Astralis from getting over FaZe?
It was a very close game. Again, you just feel that in some of the crucial moments, the players from FaZe really stepped up individually. Again, it was the pistols of FaZe. Also, on a number of occasions, winning some crucial rounds. You do feel that maybe Astralis, who is perhaps the most disciplined team at the moment, kind of lacked discipline in some of those rounds, throwing them away. So it's always the smallest of margins when you get to that level of play and to a grand final.
So the stage is set. Chiefs and Astralis going to go head-to-head in just a moment. The knife had been going on off-screen, of course, between these two teams. The map is going to be Inferno. I'll be able to cross over to them in just a moment here as well. Let's talk about Alistair. He's a young player on Chief. He's actually very highly regarded, especially by his coach, of course. No surprises there. What's his style? What would you expect to see from Alistair as well? Is that kind of aggressive player, or is he...
he can do anything, I think. He's really taken the AWP role in his stride. He's pretty, I wouldn't say random, but he's got aggression, he's got holding lines, he's got the full mix.
Well, there you have it. It's going to be Alistair and the rest of the young squad from the Chiefs taking on the Danes. And of course, as per usual, it's going to be Henry G and Sadakis to show us what many Australians hope will not be an example of what Terra Astralis really means.
Well, we'll see what it really means. Astralis on Inferno North, they played the same map as the favored in their game, and it didn't go as well. I think this one's a little bit more one-sided on paper.
Are we going to pander to the crowd and say they've got a chance? Are we going to be those guys?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be a realist and say no, but I'd like to see something come out from them.
Yeah.
I want to see some individual skill. I want to see some not upset, but surprise. Maybe upset. Upsets are fun.
I think I agree with what Sniper was saying. Like, they need to establish themselves and not be overwhelmed or thrown out of the map by the aggression coming from Astralis. This is one of the maps they love to run around as a 5-man unit, especially on the T side, not really employ any tactics and just go for pure out frags. And I think Chiefs need to be aware of that and be able to shut them down and just play their own game and not be kind of scared of the Astralis players. They need to just go in all guns blazing themselves. I have no idea what they're going to bring to the table here. It's not one of the teams I've ever cast in my time. I've actually heard of a few of the players. I've heard Alistair. He's now the main AWPer, and obviously we've got some controversial players coming in, the likes of Tux as well. And I'm sure we'll see some talent coming in. Australians always had tons of talent within the scene itself, but the teams have always been spread across that talent. There've been like one amazing team apart from that.
North America problems?
Yeah, I guess, but to more extent, there's not as many players, and then the top players are kind of spread out. There's 3 different teams. Renegades obviously made it to majors in the past, and obviously the likes of Chad leading them to those sort of victories.
The likes of Chad.
Yeah, and we've had immunity as well, as what I was alluding to with James and co from that team.
Yep. Sniper had some time on that team as well.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough. Yeah, I think it's interesting he mentioned as well all the in-game leaders that are shuffling around. So obviously they're trying different approaches in many different facets. Nonetheless, Astralis coming into this still as the favorites, I think, despite FaZe's win and triumphant win at that at Star Ladder. I think Katowice, we had the same matchup. It's between the two of them, but I think Astralis are still the favorites, I have to say. What was the stat you were pointing at, Henry?
Ins on LAN wins 66% of his 1v1 situations. Hashtag better shrimp on the Barbie. Not sure what the relevance is there, but...
Shrimp on the Barbie is always good.
Yeah, why not? I do like that. And looks like we're getting ready to hear on Inferno. Good news is apparently this is one of Chiefs' best maps, but Astralis, there are no slouches on it either. They are statistically the #1 team in the world right now. And I'd like to build up his romantic storyline that Chiefs could do this as the underdogs, but I'd be surprised if we get more than 5 rounds to put that out there.
Ooh.
But hopefully we do. I'd love to be proven wrong. Don't hate me. I'm just saying.
You can hate him, guys. It's
yeah, you can as well.
Fair.
I don't mind.
He's British. He kicked you out of his country once.
Well,
so
that's you going to be in more trouble than me saying that.
Well, I'm just saying.
that's going to be you in
I'm
trouble.
a fellow member of the Commonwealth that is actually friendly. We share a lot of back and forth. I mean, Whistler's basically Australian. So I didn't do anything wrong, Henry. You did.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get into this game, shall we? 5 sets of armor for Astralis. And in terms of the Chiefs, by 4 sets and 1 smoke in the hands of Tux and 2 flashbangs. And 3 players, of course, so Astralis towards the B rush. But Zipex actually takes a headshot at the start. They're down to 15 HP. Bomb is still down at T-spawn. X will be trying to challenge towards apartments. They've got control of that. But for now, I was about to say no players at B for Astralis. It's going to be Zipex that falls back. He was low HP, but not really much to report as of yet. Basic map control coming in for the T's, and they actually smoke off towards Diggity. And it looks like they'll be aiming towards a arch side wrap here. Device waiting for them though. Can he get things rolling? Lots one, but can't find the headshot just yet.
Not yet. You'd think it might be in store, but first damage. Substantial damage to that going the way of Chiefs. Opening up the spawn, but Glaive ready for it, backs off, and he'll continue to back off to get the rotation in early over toward the B site. Zipix confirms now his teammates there. Glaive gets to get another shot on Malta, but a push through, and Pex and Ints are able to follow up. As Chiefs will get a bomb plant down, it's Tux to do so. Former in-game leader, he's passed the reins on. Or rather, pass the op on to pick the reins up, as I remember exactly what Sniper said. It takes me a while. I have short-term memory loss. That's my excuse, Henry. Don't debate it. Dupree does get Tux back. So a man down they go, but still in good position as there's no kits picked up from Astralis. Shots need to be hit, however. Double peek comes through. Pex may be the one to do it. He's going to have to flex them solid. As he goes for another headshot, he's got this surely now. Zipix not on it. Doesn't matter. Pex goes and they'll win the first pistol.
Here we go. Kicking off with a bang. It's Pex with a 4K in the 3v1 situation as well. We've seen that set up so commonly when the bomb is down. That tight corner towards the banana side of the map, managing to find the final frags. And we have another technical pause, I'd assume, to keep things off here. Astralis give the pistol away. Pex, like he said, flexing and managing to find the headshots required. That low HP players of Astralis drop like flies. Technical pause comes in, and headsets come off, which suggests severe technical issues. Dupree will be looking towards the admin and trying to work what's going on here. I can see the text chat, nothing being typed as of yet. But that's a big round. This is kind of similar to what we saw in the Vici game as well. They managed to get the 3-0. They got bulldozed after that, but still, it was a good start, and Kiabi was disconnected from the server. Now, did he get disconnected before he was killed? That's the question. We don't know. And
let me think back. We had 1 kill coming out from spawn, 3 inside of the site. I think he was killed before he dropped, unless he wasn't moving and then was killed. I seem to recall 5 kills coming in because it was 2 on entry, and then 3 went down to Pex in the post plant. So yeah, unless he wasn't moving at the time.
To be fair, I think it was Astralis was in a 3v1 when the bomb was down as well. They did lose it in that situation. So in terms of the output of the round, I think it still stands.
Yeah, I think it has to.
Yeah. So obviously we're just speculating. We don't actually know. We're just
that's what I like to do, though. I like to cause drama by speculating.
Well, for now, we're waiting for Kiabi to reconnect to the server. You are just joining us. This is the first day of IEM Sydney. What a lovely kind of situation we're in right now. Beautiful part of the world. It was very sunny yesterday. It's raining today. It's kind of like UK today, grey and rainy, but still we're enjoying ourselves. And Chiefs, obviously the hometown heroes here, we're seeing whether they can go toe-to-toe with some of the world's absolute best here. They've won the pistol for now. We're in a slight technical issue as we just work out whether Kiabi can get back on the server. And have a look at the buy. I can kind of tell you where Chiefs were going towards. I haven't really watched much Australian CS recently. It's been a while since we've seen them with the likes of the majors and whatnot. I think the last time we casted Australian CS would have been at the Asian Minor last year, right?
We didn't get to the Asian Minor last year. We were in Brazil.
The one before that.
The one we went to in South Korea. That I think is correct.
Yeah, so that was when Chad was still playing.
That was a good time. I don't want to go home.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we'll go back there one day. I can feel it. That won't be our last. So
I wouldn't mind more time in the Southeast Asian region and down here under.
Down here under.
Down. Yeah, you know what I mean.
3 UMPs for now, and Inns and Alistair to buy. I've heard Alistair's the main AWPer for this team, and we'll see whether that rings true going forward. So, Inferno. Astralis, one of the, I would say, they're up there with some of the best on this map.
I would argue they might be the best.
Well, they did lose to North for the last tournament. I think it was Starlight in the group stages. They lost to them, but it was that's a Danish derby. It's always difficult to quantify who actually is the better team, right? It's not like it's like NIP versus Astralis or like another big name against him, right? It's like it's always going to be difficult to work out what that actually means in the landscape of who's the better team on that map, because different things happen. You know these teams very well. You're playing against them all the time. Maybe not so much anymore. I don't think it has the same weight to it, because now they're playing CS tournaments every single week, right? It's not like you're doing loads of local tournaments where you get to play against each other. It's more the same thing. It's more the fact you know these guys so well in real life and all that sort of thing. It's a bit more on the line in that sense. It makes the results a little bit an anomaly sometimes. But Australians going to be very happy with that. Winning the pistol against Astralis. It's a good start. I would say they lost the pistol.
I did hear some cheering in the office.
I heard it next door as well in the green room.
I think that's Chad
and Sniper will be there.
Yeah, no bias, but I can understand that. Look, I mean, first and foremost, for them as well, and Mitch, who's had to vacate the island to follow up a career in esports and as a caster. It's a big deal for this event to be here. I think it's very cool that we are here. So for the Australian teams to do well, it's kind of important, and it's fun to see.
Sponsored by Zowie and Logitech. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Bit of conflict of interest there, but you know, maybe one does the headsets, one does the mouse.
Yeah, it could be, or you could have the Zowie monitors because
Yeah.
Zowie by BenQ, right? So there's all kinds of things.
Kelby's back on the server. He'll be ready to go momentarily, and from what I can see, we're not changing anything. I assume he died or disconnected after he died, and we are ready, devices put. So nothing happens. There has to be no admin decisions made. We seem to be cursed in that respect, Matt. Every time one of these things goes down, we are the ones casting it. And
I think we've all had our fair share, but yeah, we've had a few.
we've had like some of the most notorious ones, I think.
The Star Ladder Finals when Nip was playing G2.
Yeah.
That one was
And
like
then-
an hour and a half long, and we had to fill. It was
and
a good
then
time.
VP versus G2, I think, at Columbus, when they
Yes.
the TeamSpeak died and it was all kicking off. Right?
Yeah, that was a fun one though, because VP's experience rose supreme there. Just started screaming at each other. I've run pressed it a few times, but yeah, it was interesting.
Glaive's been dropped at UMP here, so here we go, back into it. Round number 2, 5 UMPs for Chiefs. That could be their downfall here. Like I said, I do like 2 AKs going into these rounds. Gives you a bit more to work with, and we'll see whether it's to their downfall.
I was going to say this could be their downfall. If KRB hits one shot immediately with the Deagle in that position, it falls away.
I guess it's a double-edged sword, right? Because even if you do lose a play, you don't give away too much. You're not giving away an AK-47, which could be like really detrimental towards you going forward. But I just do love how the idea of having 3 players going in first and having the covering fire from the AKs getting the long-range headshots as you're going in.
UMP in this game comes with the foregrip. You don't have to loot that.
Don't start again.
I really do miss Battlegrounds. I'm going through withdrawals right now. Dupree, as always with a Deagle, Henry. Look what's happened.
He is. I think he's up there, top 3 Deagler
Yeah,
on the planet.
I think easily.
Yeah, he's absolutely nuts with that weapon. I think Nico, the other Danish Nico, is up there as well. He's insane.
Danish Nico, yeah, more so. Yeah, he seems to be consistent. I think both Nicos are. We'll make it top 5. We'll because it's hard to quantify top 3 because then sometimes you can just be wrong. It's easier to be less wrong when there's 5. We'll make it top 50. Then we can't be wrong. We'll just name everyone.
Well, it's Pex who will be selling something towards the A side. Whether Astralis are buying it is yet to be seen. But Glaive with the UMP finds another kill. 5 on 3. This is falling apart now for the Australian side.
Yeah, this is where the UMPs start to be a problem if they can't bust through. They've gone back in. Gap at the smoke. Glaive gets another. It's Alistar to go down. The young one, Alistair, I should say. The young one goes in for more. But Zipix is there to shut him. Trade it back with the 5-7. He's going to pick up the UMP as well. And I think he's aware that Pex is coming in through CT. Through the smoke. He does still manage to get a kill. But he's going to have to be aggressive as Device is already hot on the heels in 4 seconds. There was no plant coming in.
No, there was not, indeed. And there it is. Dupree with that dirty Desert Eagle finds the first headshot, manages to actually open things up. And Glaive, he was dropped at UMP, had armor to work with as well. Dupree funnels him towards the B side. Pex trying to sell something towards A. Didn't really happen for them. Boosted, or I should say self-boosted on the B side. That was Glaive. Finds 2 kills, shuts it down, and then no time to work with their Chiefs. After winning the pistol, we're desperate looking for that 3-0 on the T side here. Not going to happen. They'll be forced buying back themselves. Let's see what they can do with the Deagles here as we get into round number 3. Default for now, bomb down the T steps. And we do have Malta, who is towards the bottom of B. He's going to be smoked out. Glaive looking to take him down. He's only got the Tech 9 here. 1 minute 30 remaining. They have got some smokes to work with here, but I just can't see much happening, if I'm honest, as they get smoked out of the middle once more.
Dupree. Backs off after nading in toward Boiler. It's Alistair that's going to take down Device. Alistair versus Astralis. There's so many similarities in the sounds. Glaive. Oh, wait, close to the wall though. Flash goes beyond. He swings out, takes the kill immediately on Ins. Has to fall off before the repeat comes in from Tux. Dupree's going to go for a boost, or is he? They look a little confused, blinded up as they were. And get his teammate Kiarbi above the smoke on the M4, so he's got vision and range to his name as they push back in through Boiler and look to go elsewhere. Banana occupied. Malta goes all the way in through and it's taken down. I really want to go to Malta, by the way. It's another island I'd like to visit.
Been there, it's lovely.
Does seem it. Is it? Yeah.
It's a lovely
Maybe
place.
I'll go next week.
I don't think you can, but give it a go.
I'll try. Kiarbi's going to take Pex. Tux walking in. Good shot on
Here
the
we
Zipix.
go.
They've got a bit of a bomb site to work with. Bomb is there as well, which is the more important aspect. Risky plant. Covered off by Ruins because of the fountain position, but as the smoke dissipated towards CT, a rotation could have done them in. They managed to get it down, and Tux is going to go aggressive rather than sit in the emo position with the crossfires. Drop back down after the flash does land, however. Peeks out. Can't land the shot, but he'll sit tight. Goes for more. Surprised by the aggression. Makes it work as well. He's on 3 HP, but he's hit 2 headshots in the round. He's got a lineup for a third. He's done incredibly well in Kiarbi. limited up against the wall, nearly got locked in and had his aim reset, but does manage the kill.
Very exciting round there. Tux showing he can be just as deadly with the Desert Eagle as Dupree there. 3 headshots for him, but not quite enough. Kiabi's the final player to finish things off, and it's 2-1. No back and forth gameplay here, and then Astralis versus Chief matchup. It's been a common trend in CSGO recently. These back and forth force buys of Deagles and Tech 9 seem to be winning. It can go on for like 6 or 7 rounds sometimes. Tux showing us what he's made of in that round. Great display of skill, but unfortunately only the bomb down. No round victory denied by Kiabi. PG50s and 1 HE for the Australian side going to round number 4 here. And Device, or should I say Deva, as he could get into that sort of mode, picks up the AWP towards middle.
Dupree managing to shut them down as they try and chase Device. Gets in the boiler, and Device goes back onto the pistol. Good enough. Knows they've likely gone toward Arch. A little bit too quick for his own good. And you're right. Stick the plant in this case would be lovely. Tux. He's done well to take down Kiabi again. Taken out in the end by Glaive. Takes 2 Graves. And it's now going to be 2-1. Make it 3 for Astralis on the defuse. The plant coming in, as you say, is going to be substantial for Chiefs.
I guess there might be some kind of new Counter-Strike fans here, considering it's an Australian side and an Australian tournament. I must be watching and wondering why we're getting excited about that bomb going down. Even if you don't win the round, if a bomb goes down, it means you get $800 in towards each of your players' bank accounts going forward. So that going down, it might not seem like much, but that's a big deal going forward. It means they can bring out the AWP, which is the sniper rifle, going to round number 5. And Alistair, he's the AWP with this team. It's still a debate whether the AWP is that beneficial on the T side of Inferno, but a lot of teams do run it. And if you can have your superstars find the opening picks against the likes of Device, who obviously, like the analyst said, they have a lot of demos and how he plays this sort of map, maybe they can get something rolling here. He'll be towards B for now, and taking a lot of damage with the Molotov there. Fires off a shot. Can't land one just yet. Oh, we've got a crash.
Yeah, we've got a stop called.
So
that was called. I heard the clicking of the typing before the shot was taken. So, ooh, okay. They called stop and then continue immediately.
So there's a crash.
Okay, there's a fast reset.
So that must have been like a software crash. The game lags for like 10 seconds and comes back in.
I'm not sure, but they're unpausing already.
If it's that pause, it can't be anything that severe.
Yeah, that was very fast.
The problem is now, so Device shows himself towards B. So now the mind games begin. Does he go in that position once again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So now this one.
What kind of player are you? Are you the player that's like the double bluff? You go back to the same spot.
The cameraman can hear me. Let's follow Device, please, and we'll see whether he decides to do that. So he will just go towards B. He's a good sport. Doesn't want to mix things up too much. Or maybe he's just thinking, yeah, they'll think I'm going to move, so I'll just go there anyway. We'll see what happens. He'll be Molotoving off, and does he go to the car once again? He does not. His actual teammate's going to be in front of him. And this is aggressive from Glaive. Okay. Device is frozen to the wolf there, doesn't even back him up. And we have 5-on-4 as Malta takes him down.
Device getting ever closer. I'm not sure he's aware that Malta knows, or that he knows Malta's that close. And he's got a slightly wide step, good angle, headshot covered off, and it's 2 kills for Chiefs. And no response from Astralis thus far. Xyp9x will sit to make sure they're not going to walk around the corner for free. Very easily he'd be taken out of the equation by utility, but for now, he'll sit comfortably and wait. And they'll split up essentially as evenly across the map as they can with the second player at A at Arch for a fast rotation. This man here, Kiabi. CT's without much availability to get aggressive to find an answer back, unfortunately. And this is going to go into Xyp9x quite convincingly as well.
Well, this should be the set piece towards B. They could go for a contact play as well, knowing Xyp9x is by himself. Good smoke, but it's not quite enough. Like, sure, it delays for 15 seconds, but they've got enough time to work with here. They can wait for that to go down. That's another smoke bled out from the CTs, and they can go for a full execution here. You can see they've got smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs. If they're smart, they keep one player on the A side of the map. Just hold a rotation on that side. There we go. Final commitment's coming in. Xyp9x need to find at least 2 kills. Good flashbang to find 1. And he's got a real chance here. They're being apprehensive.
They are. They backed off. And they who hesitate might lose this because that single smoke you said from Xyp9x, it actually bought enough time for the rotation, which buys confusion. Kiabi gets a kill, and Xyp9x is still in on this.
Ooh.
But a great shot from Alistair, and Pex will cover off Dupree. So they managed the round, but that was hairy.
That was the shot there. Alistair with the AWP, he doesn't get that. They've lost that round because the other players on the other side of the map, Xyp9x can stay alive. Time is running out. Alistair, a lot of pressure on his shoulder there. I've heard he's a decent AWPer, and that could be one of the most important shots of the game so far. Very good work by him. Got a bit hairy, absolutely right there. They were apprehensive. As soon as Xyp9x got the first kill, where's the backup? Why are they running backwards there? You haven't got enough time to go to the other side. You've got to get in there, get the refrag. They seemed a little bit rattled at that point, but they still win the round. So no harm, no foul. It's going to be a difficult buy for Astralis. Device gets the AWP out, glass cannon at that, and a 5-7 for Glaive, and an SMG for Kiabi. Glaive's burning alive there. Needs to be careful. The flames just about away from his feet. He'll fall back at this stage. This is a difficult round for Astralis. If they don't win this, it's almost certainly going to be an eco. 3 players are B for now, but Glaive decides to rotate the other side of the map. He's low HP, not really much he can offer in terms of backup. But this is looking decent for Chiefs now. This is a huge round for either side. Whoever loses this is almost guaranteed to be on an eco. Number 6, 3-2. Chiefs looking to tie things up.
Stair will fall back down the middle. Turn off your phone, Henry.
That is you.
That,
I have my
that
phone
is,
on mute.
Come on. Nobody loves me. Oh, look, a Tinder match. Check that later. Tux wants to walk out from Boiler. Now Stair will swing after the smoke. They'll start to work in toward the balcony of the apartments. No smoke down in front of the gap, and the flash was perfectly timed for Dupree to take down Alistair, so the op gone. Device steps up with his on the CT side, and Malta swept away. Dupree forced out by Flames as a crossfire set with Kiabi. So they both sit in the same position. He's walked back into the Flames. That gives him away. Kiabi's going to have to be baited into this. They're going to have to overlook the fact that they stacked up inside of Pit. They don't quite do so. Pex is wise to it, but unfortunately he's left in a 1 versus 3 with 6 seconds. Has to stick the plant. That'll be denied by Glaive. And the round goes to Astralis.
Yeah, that was a difficult round for Astralis overall, considering the bye, but Device stepping up, going towards B at the start, finds Malta, funnels him towards the A side of the map, and that nice little crossfire there. I actually like that a lot. One player in that tight corner by the hay bales, being baited in, like, and as long as his teammate gets a frag and takes the aggro away, Calvi's always guaranteed a frag at that point. And time ticking down, Device comes in, takes it down to a 2 versus 1, and the bomb cannot be planted, and round over 4-2. An eco now for the Australian side, 4-2. Tech9s, P250s, and a Deagle for Tux. And we did see Pex with some great Deagle work before, but he's down to the Tech9 this time. Round number 7. No nades, and Pex is the only player of armor here, so you can't imagine very much is going to be done here at all. If they get another plant down, that'd be great. All 5 players towards the B side of the map. Going to be playing contact play towards Banana. They have no flashbang to even get Glaive out of position. He'll just wick into smoke, which is coming in right now, and then spraying them down as they run in. Unarmored players not going to be able to do much here. Zipex gets the burst, through the smoke, it's Glaive, and that's pretty much round done. The bomb's down. There's no real reason to fall back. They know this round is over. Maybe just hold up and see if he makes a mistake. But you can see them just getting peppered down through the smoke there. Just hoping to get one dig through the smoke. That's ins. But yeah, with that bomb down, that's pretty much it. Hoping they can get just a chance kill here.
Shot from Zipex. Gets the shot. Device follows up. Pretty straightforward. 5-2 now for Astralis. And it's back to just the Deagles for the Australians.
Yeah, that was the full eco before, but not really enough to go all in this round. Still quite early days. 5-2. After running the pistol shut on that second round. Still going to shout at this one. Device towards top middle this time, looking towards T-steps. He's had the Deagle being fired, and an easy shot for the likes of him. Takes down 2 now, Malta. Joins Alistair in the grave as Kiabi chimes in as well. It's looking like Device is trying to get himself warmed up here and doing a very good job of doing so. 5 players alive now for Astralis, just Pex remaining for Chiefs, and the bomb down in T-steps. It's going to be round number 8, and we'll see whether Pex can do anything here with the P250. He's in towards a boiler room right now, but for now, no one giving anything to work with. And Kiabi, a nice execution to finish it off. 6-2. There we go.
Not bad. As it is Device. Gonna open things up quickly down middle. They're getting rolling. Remember what Sniper said on the desk as well about testing the waters and getting confident. The respect that would have to be earned, but also that Astralis would rip away from them if the opportunity existed. Device acting that quickly down mid is going to act as encouragement. I think he's going to go for it again. Why not? Flash in. Oh, Molotov instead. All right. I'll try and hold off Banana at the same approach. Doesn't mean that Device actually stops with the op to try and get shots down. He'll reset himself toward the arch side. But they're locked into Banana very early on, and they can hear the damage being done by the Flames, so they get ready to fight. Glaive can't overstep the mark, manages to do so late, and 2 kills for him very early on against Chiefs.
Getting into their stride now, Astralis finding those first 2 frags, and Device, he loves that shot towards the boiler room, finds the 3rd as well. Just Pex and Alistair remaining, but Pex, he's dealt with quite quickly there.
Yeah, they're looking very confident now. Astralis has found the rhythm.
They just had to establish their own economy, right, to be able to enable themselves to take some risks. When they were at the point where they were still struggling to get the money together, now they've won a few in a row. row and finding clean sweeps like this, they can start afford to push down and overwhelm Chiefs. We know on paper, it goes without saying, Astralis, the #1 team in the world right now, are going to be able to go across the board. Every single player is going to be out-skilling Chiefs in terms of firepower. So once they get in the zone, they're going to be taking these duels, and the likes of Device, once he gets confident, you're in a world of trouble there.
Device has the op again, and he's over toward B this time. Glaive makes his clear way in toward Boiler down middle. Dupree peeks, sees pretty much everyone, and backs off. That brings Glaive back out, but a flash in. He's blinded up, and Tux takes him, but there's the spray from Dupree and Kiarbi, opposite sides of top middle. And it's down to Alistair, who's going to walk out of apartments onto a balcony. Does this balcony confuse you? I suppose it's supposed to be the backyard. There's no stairwell down to escape. It's the back fire escape.
It's supposed to be an actual balcony, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't need steps.
Because it's in a hallway, so it's not like those are apartments off of a public hallway. It's one apartment.
It's like a smoking area.
Yeah. I don't smoke, so I wouldn't know.
Neither would I.
Fair enough. Fake Nation. Just kidding.
There's a pretty shot. We've gone above and beyond here in Australia with these nice scenic scenes. It's actually, Inferno lends itself to these kind of panoramic shots. It's actually quite a beautiful map, like what Valve have done with it. Hopefully Dust 2 remains looking similar, you know? Hopefully they don't change it too much. I just wanted to come back pretty and with a few problems solved. So a tactical pause, I think this must have been for Chiefs, and they can get the AWP out again for Alistair, and to be fair, the only round they picked up after the pistol was down to him hitting that amazing shot on towards Zipex with like 5 seconds remaining as well. So let's see whether he can replicate that sort of form as we get to round number 11. Device towards B this time. I'm sure he's going to go aggressively towards that car position. Molotov in towards C steps, push him off, and here we go. Here comes Device.
Ooh, look at Alistair waiting. No, he's got the
He
angle.
knows. He knows.
Well done, young man. Tux will head down from Boiler. He's got the angle covered off. This time he can sit there. He can be happy to sit there because Dupree, or rather, excuse me, Device, is not lurking with the AWP outside at the top of middle. Tux will be patient as well in his position as they re-smoke middle from the CT side. Down a man. It's 2 smokes only remaining, but a full arsenal of Molotovs, with the exception of Zipex. Rather, incendiaries. I don't like saying that word for some reason, Henry. I avoid it.
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
5 and 4, Alistair. Like we said, lots of demos available for them to look at, and especially a player like Device, you want to know his tendencies and know where he's going to be, kind of angles he'll be taking. And you can see Alistair actually very aware, I'd say, as to the angles Device likes to pick. Takes him down, 5 and 4. Can they convert this to a victory? They're going towards quad. Dupree's ready though. Looking for that double frag, nails it, and they take the man advantage straight back away from Chiefs. Smoking out towards Banana as well. It's Pex up to him now to try and find something here. I didn't think he heard Kiarbi. Seems to be aware this could be a possibility. Molotov towards the broken wall position, and I think that gives his position away more than anything. And he could be done for now. 23 seconds remaining. He's just setting towards the ace of the map. Unfortunately, Zipex finding the bomb. If he gets his second frag, it's over.
Ooh.
And Alistair once again finds another AWP shot to give them a lifeline.
Give him a lifeline. 13 seconds, though. The problem is he has to commit to the plant almost on arrival, which should mean, although the selling is decent, it should mean a push from Glaive straight through the smoke. Bomb denied.
Yeah.
And that he read that just based on timing, so very straightforward. Pex is removed. He'll sit and try and stay alive. He'll do so. But it's another round for Astralis to go 9-2 over Chiefs.
I think a team like Chiefs right now, they need to be focusing on staying together and trying to play fundamental Counter-Strike and have trades going on. They're doing these fakes time and time again. And Alice is hitting some great shots. He finds that man advantage. And then maybe overthinking scenarios like that. You've got 20 seconds remaining. You've got a player trying to fake out a kill towards the 8 of the map. He gets it, sure, but it's so unnecessary at that stage. His teammate's trying to plant the bomb. One player already remaining and actually takes it down. The round's over. Even if he gets that kill, as I'm saying, on that 8 of the map, it doesn't really mean anything because the round's already done. But 9-2. Surely going to be maximum loss mode. It's 6th stage now, 5th stage +1, and they got the bomb down, so they managed to. Oh no, the bomb was not planted, so they didn't get the extra money.
No, it wasn't. It was denied.
So they get $3,400, but that's enough to get a buy in here. Alistair AWP, but once again, Glaive following that first pick. It's getting a bit rough now. I was saying at the earlier stages, it's fine. They can probably get a few more rounds on the board, but Chiefs now starting to drop off.
Backs out. Gets the smoke ready. And then they go toward Device. Smoke will cover him off. Oh, fire now. I dare you. He does. Inns is definitely out because through the smoke, Device had the lineup perfect. He stopped and made it all too easy. As Dupree will take Tux. It's left to just Pex and Alistair working toward the site. Alistair does find Dupree again in the open with a late peek with the AK this time, which gives Pex some breathing room, but it's not like he's got much of an opportunity to walk through a very tight choke point. 2 players staring him down, 34 seconds as well. They pretty much have to commit to this side, and they will. They'll go down in their process. Kiabi with both 10 rounds already for Astralis.
Yeah, this is getting quite clinical now. She's throwing everything they've got out of the scrapbook and not really finding too much success here. Maybe remind you, they won the pistol as well and only finding 1 round since, and they have to take another partial buy here. Maximum loss man is sure, but no bombs really being planted. It's going to be Tech9's Deagles, and what can they really do? Like, you can have the best strategies in the world, but they only get you so far. When you're up against the likes of Astralis, who know that set pieces are coming in, they just won't allow you to do them, Matt. They'll just be going so aggressive and out-aiming you, and having players like Device or Dupree doing things like that. Unfortunately, doesn't actually work out for them in this round. Something to work with here. They pick up an M4. Whether it's going to be enough is yet to be seen. And looks like they'll be punching up towards the A side of the map. They don't have to commit now. They weren't expecting a pick that early on, so now they've got the M4. They might want to reconsider their options and see what they can do here. Ooh, that's a nice shot from Tux.
Tux with the pistol. They run in, try and get a bomb early. They do overwhelm Kiabi eventually, and Pex found a kill on Glaive. So they should get a bomb plant down and potentially a round in a 1 versus 4. You'd expect it to be so. Pex, he will. Yeah, looks the wrong way as Ipix gets the kill. So they get another round, much to their delight. Let's see if they can build on it. 10-3, late in the half. But money now available to them.
This is the rounds I'm talking about with Chiefs. If they just stick together, keep it fast, and just go and try and challenge one area, focus on one objective. Let's go for apartment control and a real simple set piece towards that side of the map. I think this side of the team, that's the best bet you're going to go with. Spreading out on defaults, you're not going to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Astralis. You might as well stay as a pack and try and just take them on in that formation. I think that's going to work out best for them. Let's see whether they apply that methodology going forward. Anyway, round number 14. And for now, open the hands of Alistair once again. I have been impressed with him, I'm not going to lie. He's actually been hitting some very key shots. Device has found a gap in the smoke, but so is Alistair. Takes him down, and once again, a 5-on-4 in Chief's favor. These are the sort of situations they've been giving away.
I thought he was going to hit Zipix through the smoke as well. But yes, you're right. He has found Device in a few particular instances of perhaps overzealousness from Device and putting himself in aggressive peaks. They walk in slowly. Kiabi's shoulder shows, and Tux hits a good headshot as soon as he walks through. Lipix wants to try and equalize this with a flashback in. He's got toward T-stairs, but Alistair's waiting at mid still. Watches him go through, and Astralis are giving them their 4th round, I think.
Yeah, this is exactly what Sniper was touching on. If Chiefs can just work out how to shut down the aggressiveness and lack of respect that Astralis are kind of presenting at this stage of the game, they can actually find a few rounds on the board here. And Device, like you said, overzealous potentially towards middle, and then constantly facing Dupree pushing down middle, for example, and they won't be able to recover this, unfortunately. Glaive, he's the last player remaining in a 4 versus 1. He's in CT spawn. The money's still fine for Astralis. They should be able to pick up the 11-4 here, but Alistair finishing things off. Like I said, I've been impressed with him. He finds 8 kills so far. Pex will be leading the scoreboard with 11. Round number 15 coming in. If it's 11-4, I still think this will be a very quick game. 10-5 though, who knows? If they win the pistol, they might have a chance. It was 10-5 in that Optic game earlier on, and they managed to take it to triple overtime. So, double orb set up to finish things off. Dupree. This is always a talking point of Astralis. Yes, #1 team in the world right now, but they don't have a secondary AWPer really. Dupree's been almost forced onto that role because that's the way CSGO is evolving. A lot of maps lend itself to that sort of setup, and they're trying to get him ready and up to scratch, and this is the perfect game to kind of get some practice and some experience, I guess, with this weapon, and we'll see whether he can cause any damage here.
So double up. Glaive as well being the one to aggress toward middle, if you will. Be assertive, I think, was a better way of putting it.
Yeah, and Device goes down to Alistair once again. How many times do you get picked off by him?
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating. He's got to stop doing that fight.
Yeah.
But it's the last round, to be fair, so he won't be taking it again in that same angle. But not only did he go down early, Dupree fell as well, as Tux was able to find that kill. So Chiefs with a 5 versus 3 to work with. And you said it, 10-5. That was what our Optics scoreline was this morning. So they were able to get into a triple overtime situation. Arguably, although you could argue for both sides when it goes into overtime, had chances to close out the game they didn't capitalize on. And as such, especially when they had it 15-14, but As such, you could argue Chiefs could find a way back into this slowly but surely as well, as Xyp9x waits, smoke down, bomb inside of Banana, 35 seconds. Very likely this goes on to be with only Xyp9x in the site. Doesn't have utility deployed this time to slow them. He's crossed over and thankfully made it deeper and toward, well, I guess Orange's 2 is where he's going to stop play before they walk in, but they themselves does not put any utility down. And Glaive, he's going to be ready for the spots. It throws an 80. Might have had a better chance of getting shots out if he was ready for it. Kiabi's found, but Xyp9x gets baited in. He goes back out. The Molotov locks them toward water. That allows his teammate closer, but Glaive has been covered off by a flash. Smoke in his face as well. The bomb down. The nade does damage, but it's he versus 4. And he's got to go for it, but likely not to find it. So 10-5 is what we're looking at, Henry.
This is actually decent from Chiefs after very similar situations to the Inferno game today. They had a huge lead Astralis, but okay, this one's not done quite yet. I won't go into too much detail on that, but still, Glaive in a 3 versus 1. It's almost impossible to believe he can actually do this now, considering they've set up that trifecta of doom, as you would say. Alistair, once again, with another headshot at AWP. He's been consistently locking down Device. They haven't necessarily been converting those rounds to victories, but still, 5 rounds, it's enough. Enough to win a game. It's not outside the realms of possibilities. They could cause a bit more damage here going forward. Matthew, we're going to take a quick break and we'll see whether Chiefs have anything left in the chamber to go toe-to-toe with Astralis here.
Another 10-5 half. Astralis this time on Inferno against Chiefs. It was North, their Danish compatriots, that were struggling against Optic in the second half after getting the same scoreline. So, will that repeat itself, Hank?
We will see. Quietly impressive Chiefs. It looks a bit out of their depth in the earlier stages of the half, but managing to pull it back. The actual T-side orb was actually very beneficial for them, finding lots of openings, and Device maybe a bit frustrated at times. He had some decent rounds himself, but lost the first pick against Alistair, I'd say about 3 or 4 times.
Yep, at least.
So, we're getting to this pistol. Very important, of course. If Chiefs can pick this up, they might have a chance. You never know. We'll get into the CZ for Malta. Quite rare to see that on CT pistol, and we'll see whether he can get rolling here. Defuse get for Tux, and B presence coming in from the terrorist here. Shots being fired all over the place, but Kiabi to find the first headshot here. Malta.
Talk about RNG.
Go on, what are you getting?
Well, just that shot from Kiabi. The bullet that hit was like 10 feet outside of the crosshair.
Okay.
Carry on. Malta, good play. Gonna take down Kiabi. Glaive gets him back. And I rudely interrupted you, so I'll let you talk again, Henry.
I love talking. Well, here we go then. 4-on-3. And this is a perfect position for Astralis to be in. That's even better. So you get that man advantage. The CTs have to react to. Bree's already got presence in the bedroom position. And now Tux. He can't just sit back and wait. He needs to hunt for information. This 4-on-2 is going to be possible for them. If he gets one kill, funnels him towards A, maybe there's something to work with there. But he holds the sandbags position. The bombs are T-steps for now. And we have got Alistair walking into his sudden death. Down he goes. Zipex finds him. Round over, presumably, as the bomb goes towards A and Tux now. And Device is so perfect from him. Not going to be giving anything away, and easy frag. Execution coming in. Ooh, not quite.
Tux checks it. Device backs off. Gets him nonetheless through the board that Cabby started off the round by getting a kill from, so it'll go 11-5 for Astralis. Pistol round 1.
Indeed. Well, it was towards a B attack, and Astralis dodging the nades at the start, and we were hoping that CZ could light them up slightly, but unfortunately Astralis take it, and this will have to be the force buy from the CT side in the second round here. So 5-7 CZs and a Deagle from Malta. He's got a smoke and a couple of flashbangs to go with it as well. It's very difficult on the CT side of Inferno to make this round really work out for you. We'll see whether it leads to anything. And Device, I think, will be pushing through the smoke, not quite. Doesn't want to dance with the devil, and he'll be falling back. I think that's the right decision to make. Unless you're all going to do it, doesn't really make sense to one player to take that chance. Maybe he gets one frag, or maybe he finds 2 CTs and gives away a gun. It's not really worth it, so well done by him. And we hit the 1 minute 20 mark. CTs are always going to have very limited utility there, so waiting for that smoke to go down, using your own just to clear out this position, and then isolating those CTs on the site. This is the correct way to operate in an anti-eco sort of scenario.
Molotov bounced. Second one deep. Inns has to go aggressive. Manages a kill on that situation.
Just
That's very well done.
Ooh, 10 HP.
Gets away as well. Well done.
Yeah, I think he got flashed over by his teammate. That's a very common strategy on this map, especially. Wait to hear a sound cue, or they're trying to get that top of banana control. Flash over. Go for one kill, fall back. Inns does it perfectly. Has to run the gauntlet in terms of the fire down on the floor, but manages to get away with 10 HP. Still a lot of work to do in this round to even have a chance within it. And this will be the commitment. No one on the A side of the map, so Astralis going all in here. And it's up to Malta with his Desert Eagle to try and find some headshots.
He's going to try and do exactly that, but manages none. As Glaive gets the kill, they'll smoke off CT. They'll boost up Alistair. He's not going to go all the way up. He's just waiting for a chance. It's more so a flash. Doesn't hit the shot right away. It does do a little bit of damage onto both players he fires upon, but he goes down immediately after to Kiabi in the round, looking secure from Astralis with a bomb and guns in their hand. And just pistols. Armor as well for Chiefs. The armor worth saving, Henry? I would say yes, but how do you get out from this point?
Yeah, you're kind of committed. You've got one player at T-step, so he'll certainly be saving. And Tux, he's hoping they go exploring for him. He's got that CZ very good in close-range situations. Here we go. Can hear the footsteps. He takes the chance. Takes down Glaive. Has to prevent more here, but won't be able to do it. Hits some damage towards Kiabi. And it's up to Pex now to maybe try and find another kill. Inns chimes in. Won't be surviving this round, but he's just hoping he can keep some Ts there with him. And Pex, good chance to find another kill. Gets it. Might be able to sneak out an AK. I don't think he'll be allowed to by Zipex. So, oh, he does get a UMP in the end.
Not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, that's okay. So, then we'll be forced by into this round, but Pex has got a head arm on the UMP. They'll probably get some PT-15s to help him out. And Astralis 12-5, looking for 13 here. It's going to be a very difficult game to have achieved that first gun round. After the second, it's going to be a rough ride.
Pass on right, Pex.
I think in this term, I think you could give the UMP to maybe towards Alistair, just to make sure he gets that open armor as well. That could be an idea. I guess Pex has got the armor this round, so I don't know.
Yeah, they want the Superman style with the UMP. I totally get what you're saying, and I can understand the justification for both. Inns self-boost corner, oranges 1. No oranges, but it is orange.
Yes, yeah, that still works.
So Malta will fall back. Inns makes noise that he's left, but then walks beyond that, so covers the cross, and then has he gone or has he not? He'll slowly make his way onto Turnpike and closer to the A site, which is getting some attention. Zipex trying to just hold them in position, get information where possible. He's got 2, I was about to say 2, he's got 1 teammate with him, excuse me, which is Dupree. That's already inside of the B site. Malta found immediately behind Nubox. That brings it back. Not much to do. Pex picking away, trying to pick a fight down mid, but Dupree shows up and says, "Stop touching my teammate like that."
He does. I'm sure that's exactly what he said. It's going to be Alistair remaining, like we said. The AWP, he did not force buy in the second round, so he will bring out the AWP, and he was great in terms of going toe-to-toe with the likes of Device. I'm sure that all comes out this first round. He almost has to at this stage, 13-5. He doesn't buy it, interesting enough. That doesn't really justify him taking that eco on the second round. We'll see whether he can go or get anything done, I guess, with the M4A4. Just to note, all of the Chiefs using that. No one using the Silas M4 at all.
Yeah, we used to make mention of that far more commonly, but yeah.
It was on this map especially. We said it makes a lot more sense to use a silenced M4, right? Because obviously you do a lot of smokes and then you're pushing down. It doesn't seem really the case anymore. I guess that was in the old iteration of Inferno where the smokes are so powerful at the start and you could actually push down and be down there for so long. But I think the extra bullets in the magazine, obviously having more reserve as well, allows a lot more spam potential. And it seems a lot of teams, it's quite rare to see the silenced M4 on this map.
So Zip's already got some motion inside of Boiler. Very well thrown flashbang. Winds up a hole in the wall and no one else. The poor mouse that lives in there. His vision will take a while to restore. Dupree falls back down, but then gets forward of an 8. Thankfully, it still does decent damage. He's on 31. So he'll fall off the position after showing face, but B becomes more likely as a result of it. Bomb's still back toward bench, but there are 2 players here. Device and Kiabi. Did spot the shoulder. I was not sure he was going to react, but he does spray back into it before getting smoked off, and he'll rotate quickly to Coffins. They'll continue to try and pressure this and force a rotation based on the smoke, but at the meantime, it's back over toward A where they find the first kill. Glave's the one to do so. Bomb still waiting at top middle as well to walk in, and Dupree has been patient to allow the 2 players in mid to find space for him to walk out from inside of the apartment position.
Dupree, you're absolutely right in the position, and it's going to be a A-side wrap here. Device looking to take down Pex in the pit here. Pex, he's got his work cut out for him. Nice dink, but can't find the frag just yet, and he gets another kill as well. It's looking promising now, but he only gets 1, and it's up to Tux on low HP, and that's going to be the round over, I'm afraid. No kits, no nades, and 2 M4s that are retaking a 4-2 against Astralis. I think you just have to submit at this point and allow them to take the victory. 14-5 comes in.
What did you say with the round? You said that they wouldn't get more than 5 rounds.
Yes,
so Astralis have to win out.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time I get it 100% right.
You love to point that out.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't think that it really paints the full picture.
No, it's fine, Henry.
Like they have been decent in terms of like finding the first pick and all that sort of thing.
Well, you're behind, Henry.
What do you mean?
Quit while you're behind. Quit while you're ahead, but I didn't want to admit that you were ahead.
Well, no, I'm trying to say with Chiefs. Anyone who's like, look, so they score on HLTV, for example, they say, obviously they got battered, but there have been some moments where they got the first pick and there's some very tight clutches and stuff, which could have kind of dramatically altered the final score here. But unfortunately, it will be 14-5, and in terms of the money available, it's not looking great. They kind of have to buy into this round or allow Astralis to get to match points so early on. They've got a gun save. They might as well force into it and hope for the best here. Pex buys body armor at 5-7. Maybe they're not going all in. So PT50s, this is the airstrike map. So 4 IGs, maybe 3 nades down middle or towards Bananas. 3 players at that side of the map, so I'd assume it's the latter. Nades getting ready. They've been thrown, and they do get a kill. There it is. It seems to be working today.
It does. It's not often we see that, but Astralis and North have both been punished by it. And Device is the one to go down in this particular instance. As they are 2 rounds away from wrapping up the map, they will have to fight back into this one. Malta as well has an M4. With armor. A helmet. Always wear a helmet, Hank.
Safety first.
Flash goes over toward quad. Double flash at that. That allows the Bix out to clear the position. Sprays toward the cubby, but doesn't want to round yet toward the pit. It is, or was, as one player goes down. Ends found by Dupree. A stack over toward the A site, so they've got to evaluate that. See if they can find anything further on to B. It's Pex, the only one here. And he's smoked off. They should walk in, and yeah, at this point, the bomb's going to be heading that direction. They'll call it. Zipix confirms there's 2. They haven't yet fully cleared out this site of B. Now they have. So the bomb was still hesitant ever so slightly to go in. It's still actually waiting for his teammates to say, yes, you are free to join us.
Malt's up. Still with that M4A4, but he probably just wants to be saving there once again. Alistair's in towards Boiler, and the bomb's about to be planted. So, round over once again, a match point obtained by Astralis, and Alistair's taken down as well. It's not a big deal. He had nothing really to save. This is the player that he's survived, though. It's Malta, and he should do by the looks of things. You can see in the top left, T's hunting him down. He fires bullets randomly there. Maybe just say, oh, guys, just end me. I've had enough. Come kill me.
I volunteer as tribute. Well, he does get a nice shot on the Kiabi, but they will be hunting him indeed. Glaive coming up the top middle. Dupree coming out from the outside. Glaive downed, though. Malta might just keep this gun after all, I think. Dupree will be low HP, so this could be a 3rd kill for Malta. And the problem for Xyp9x is that he's coming out from the apartment, so he won't have the space, but dupreeh is up to it, gets the kill. And they find 15. They still go map point. We're going to have a pause called. Tactical, no less, from Tux, and that's not surprising, all things considered.
Well, yeah.
Might as well use it because you've got it.
Yeah, well, they took an eco in the previous round. It's going to be quite the tall order now. CT side against Astralis. You need 10 rounds in a row just to force overtime. dupreeh and co looking very comfortable there. Not really much required from Zonic here. Just, he's probably saying, lads, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Not really much else has to be said, really, does it?
No, it's true.
They've got 10 rounds in the bag. Not really going to be too worried at this point.
The cool thing, just to mention, by the way,
yeah,
because how quickly this game's gone by, is that with 8 teams in a Swiss format, everyone plays 2 games a day rather than 1, which you get at the major.
Yeah, normally guys complain about that because you come out to the event, you play 1 best of 1, and that's it. You're going home. Like, you wait all day to play 1 map.
And then you come back and do it again the next day. So you can't really build a rhythm, and you certainly sit around all day and don't really get to play or practice. I mean, I talked to Kerrigan this morning about it. He said he'd rather play just all 5 games in one day and be done with it, but he certainly prefers this where they get to at least play
It's great for the spectators with a back-to-back CS, but it's tough to play 1 map a day. This is getting exciting, Mamba. We should shut up and get into it. I will as well.
Just be quiet. Just kidding. Don't do that.
16-5 is looking very likely.
It is indeed. Tuck's going to rotate over from A. He'll leave his teammate in Boiler. That'll be Pex. Just on 5 HP.
Just to know as well, obviously in the pause, they said, let's get aggressive here. Let's try and find that first kill, facing towards second middle. And unfortunately, okay, maybe we've got a chance. Pex finds a kill on towards dupreeh. It's on the other side of the map. They are separated for now. Device for Jordan Banana, and that should be it now. It's going to be Tux on 5 HP. And unfortunately for Chiefs, Henry is correct. 16-5 is the scoreline.
Well, that's our 3rd of 3 best of 1s to start the day off done. It's starting to paint the picture for our Swiss system. In all cases, the favorite has won, although in our first map, remember how close that was with Optic. Let's not forget. But it also means that these guys, Chiefs, will have to get ready to drop down and potentially play off against Countrymen, or our Renegades in our next game. Going to be up to the challenge, Hank. We'll find out. I'm sure there's lots to be said about this game. Device looking very comfortable, as was the rest of Astralis. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll get back into it with our last of the opening matches in the Swiss format.